who play very similar. They have a lot of the same ideas on how to approach the game. You can see with their agent comps as well that this is going to be a very close, hard-fought battle you would expect.
Pearl to begin, DRX going for that select. We knew that the Lotus ban was going to be coming through no matter what after seeing that just the once in the grand final. They've opted to never show it again. It may never see the light of day. And we're ready, the fans are ready as we go ahead, drop the barriers for the opening round, and already DRX looking for potential crunch over here at A main.
Response, a little bit of utility now to try to make sure that this Vault Orb isn't being gathered. It's going to be cleared here. Still Buzz, going to be playing behind the box, pushing the point. Now, another dog out here from Stacks to check in the middle. Crashies, just checking, nothing doing.
Quick little peek. No damage going to be received there. For now, just RB holding things down, and Link, a classic at hand. At this range, we'll see what he can do. Is he's just going to have to back away from this position. We'll see where he decides to go. Looks like he's going to wrap around, try to maybe get himself up into heaven. In the meantime, the rest of DRX starting to wrap through the attacker's spawn. Turret going to be cleared out. Bite the check in the back hall. Swarm grenades out to try to prevent them, keep them locked on this side of the site for now.
And I love this from DRX. They rarely do this kind of thing where they go this aggressive on a flank, and it looks like they might be able to catch Crashies a little bit off guard. He's pulling back now, trying to join the rest of the team. Flash now going to indicate the presence of DRX.
However, Victor, yeah, very much could get the same jump. You see him creeping back right now, working his way through shops. Are we going to be noted? Some looking to push up into him, but that's a classic at medium range, and looking to take him down. Morris is going to be good for. He's running out of bullets. Will be able to give the Artis a death there as a parting gift. Now Victor arrives. A frenzy, though. Not going to be working too many wonders for him in this position. The push-up Crashies needs to be the hero. They're talking about him on the desk. Can he get it done? No, Zest is going to be able to take his head off. Buzz finds Finesse, and now it's just Victor. Finds one, but that's as good as it's going to get. 3 members left standing as DRX will take the opening round.
Yeah, and a big pistol win here to start the tempo and the pace for DRX. They've been struggling a little bit. I mean, granted, they had to go up against EG, and everybody's been struggling on pistols against them, but this is, you know, kind of a point of weakness for times at them, and this year it has felt like the pistols have been a little bit slow at times for DRX, so I love this kind of ability to make sure that they're controlling the A space. They're not letting anybody get through mid. They're going to use the Stacks utility on the Sky to check for that, and then they're able to go for this full flank with a 4-man Stack to get through there. Really nicely handled. A good attempt on the counter lurk by Victor. Just wasn't able to get there in time to really have much effect.
Mako sending out a bite right off the rip. Looks like, though, for this eco, might just be B-side simulator here for the set of NRG. Flash out, push up. Mako just going to be tucked away on the side. And Crashies trying desperately to get out of the Nanoswarm. Ends up getting cut down. Mako going to be able to find a second one in RB. Moving out from the back hall, we'll find another. Mako now 1 for 3, looking to fast track that pit as quickly as he possibly can. And with the spike not planted, Victor is going to have to try to find something here. Knows that he doesn't want to be carrying this Sheriff forward into the next round. See if he can find any damage here, because so far DRX looking for that flawless anti-eco.
And 4 Bulldogs for DRX invested into this round, so if they can carry all those over, that would be absolutely phenomenal. Stacks there, gonna do a little bit of a check. Bird's not connecting, but no kind of obfuscation about where Victor is right now. Still trying to push this corner. This should be pretty darn difficult.
Spam out, and eventually one of the shots will connect, so Flawless does come through. DRX starting up 2-0. NRG now looking to reply as they go ahead and get some rifles into their hands. Need to make a break point for them. Take a quick look back. I mean, Mako, he's had his ups and downs for sure, not only this season, but at this event as far as site anchoring goes. But that is the kind of thing that we have come to expect from him. That's why he has been the conversation for one of the best controllers in the world. It's been a bit fewer and further in between when we have seen those moments, but for him, at least, a bit of a hot start.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a bit more up and down for Mako this year. He's been good at times, been great at times, but sometimes he's definitely slipped and had some problems. Now, him and RB were kind of the bright spots for DRX against Paper Rex in the last matchup, having pretty good score lines on those mostly controller roles. But RB continues to be just a brilliant, flexible player, so good at side anchoring, whether it be on the Astra or the Killjoy here. He is just a wonderful, wonderful player to watch. Of course, that Neon is absolutely special, but you can see NRG now going to be lining up for an A crunch here through Art. No utility really to check this until it gets to sight.
They got Buzz in such a forward position. He knows that they're not going to be pushing out into B main. With nothing spotted over in Link, they now fully suspect that this is in fact going to be that A hit coming through. Ortis up on top of the side, drifting back. Bit of damage there, dropping down in the dugout, but Finesse with a great aggressive swing comes out wide, finds Mako. Pop flash through the wall, it's a turn. Finesse still eating a little bit of that blind. Stax can't push in past this high tide. As he tries to, Finesse cuts him down. RB gonna be able to find two, but suddenly that leaves Buzz all on his lonesome, wrapping around from A main. Spike not yet planted, but NRG, 3 members left standing, relatively healthy, and plenty of time to try to burn down.
Difficult task here for Buzz.
30 seconds left.
See if he can get it done. They're right behind the box. Oh, they're going to get him in the back.
I mean, it's a great read. They do go for the back plant, and Buzz not quite reading that somebody's going to be over an Art, wanted to try to stop that plant from coming through. And Victor with the covering fire on the flank finds him, and NRG get there first.
I love the way that NRG plays this round. They get aggressive towards the back of sight, towards Secret there in particular, because DRX was trying to buy time, trying to wait for Buzz to get to that lurk. You know, DRX had a pretty good read on this early. The other 4 members beside Buzz were pretty quick to rotate over to A, but instead of allowing DRX any comfort or space, NRG just keeps pushing, keeps taking advantage of that slight weapon advantage they have in that round. Now Buzz is going to be blast canning opping. You don't see this every day with DRX.
Definitely not. He's going for it. It's just going to be situated over there on B, and whether or not NRG expects that he's going to be going for it, hard to say. Either way, they're not looking to play into his sightlines whatsoever. Again, plenty of attention being paid over here towards mid, through the double door into the link. And now maybe even just pressuring Zest out of water all the way back over into the defender spawn. This is really good control right now for the side of NRG, but how do they maneuver this? Try to convert this into a site take. Mako pushing up, still looking to explore over towards A. Might make content if he continues to swing here against Victor, but Victor's now going to be pulling away from this position. And NRG sights may just start drifting towards B, where that op is continuing to creep up.
Yeah, you got the toxic screen over there as well. Going to be huge here for Buzz. If he can win a duel, he might be able to take control of this space. Maybe keep Victor at bay as Mako continues his aggressive lurk. But now they're shifting directions. NRG here, last minute. Looks like they're going to head in. The lockdown in response from RB. He's going to be under pressure potentially. No, they're going to have to back off.
Yeah, he just wants to fully dissuade this hit over here onto the A side, but they still have 3 members in the vicinity of Mako. Well, he might be able to get around and maybe find a pinch on a Finesse. Is not in a position to really help them out here onto the B site where everybody's going to come crashing through. Stacks the first to fall, doesn't even get too much damage across, and what he did find is going to be healed up. Zest's going to find 1. And now it's Buzz out in the open, no dash. Sees the cove, does he suspect that there's going to be somebody in it? Either way for now, hasn't been able to see him. It's going to start to fracture, it's going to break. Spots him, and the flash timing is absolutely perfect. Sam scoops the kill. A little bit of spam out from RB, but it seems like DRX making the call, saying, you know what, there's 4 of them in that site. They also have a reckoning. Even if we try to get back in, it's just not going to be worth it, so they will start to back away. This
is just like a classic Finesse round. He's just so smart. He takes control of the middle of the site. He's guiding his team around, kind of sensing the presence of DRX in spots where he doesn't necessarily like what he sees. You know, of course, that lockdown there, able to get that out in a way that doesn't have a ton of impact on the round. It doesn't prevent a plant, really. It gives a little bit of space for DRX, but they're not really able to capitalize on that. And Stack's losing in the back alley in B puts so much pressure onto Buzz, and that flash combo there was really, really good here for the side of NRG. But just the way that NRG push and pulls the map space, takes control of mid, and then they have free reign over kind of how they want to dictate the pace of the round. So I'd like to see DRX start contesting space a little bit more when they get guns back in their hand. Now this one's a bit of an eco, so you know, it might not be the round where they try to dig a little bit deeper, but looks like they are going for a 4-stack over onto A here. Just going to leave RB over at B. He's one of the ones with the rifle. Mako has a Phantom on the other side, but they're just peeling right off of this utility coming in towards mid.
Dog not going towards RB's side. Just going to be skirting around this wall right here, giving up any information. RB, I mean, likely suspecting that they're creeping their way through. How many players, where are they positioned now? Are they going to be coming back my way? That is all completely and utterly unknown. Flash out. We'll get at least some sort of notification, some sort of confirmation. Creep up in. Mako does it just quickly enough to manage to find one. Artist going to be taken down with some. There's plenty in kind. Stacks now. Pushes out from water. Finds one for his trouble before getting taken out. Buzz will be able to get some with the classic. Weapons now recovered. 3 rifles versus the 2 here on the side of NRG. Find themselves here into the A site. The spike is completely under control of DRX for the time being.
This is a beautiful read here from DRX. They take control of mid by waiting them out, setting up a trap play right around the corner outside of Art. Really, really smart stuff, but FNS going to go try to get through water here. Get underneath this wall, potentially. Dangerous, of course, to go underneath there.
Not only are you already crouching, but you have to go through this wall as well. This additional slow, that obfuscation will now drop down. So he can try to go for the play. He's just being stared at right now by Zest. Which coming in, Victor looking for spam. Does manage to grab that spikes, trying to rotate out. RB swinging on the corner, doesn't manage to find the elimination, but it's only 10 seconds remaining. Victor, he knows that he's had to try to take the fight to them. Win it out that way, cannot make it happen. DRX will be able to shut him down at the end. Still bloody, but considering what they had coming into this round, a very nicely done round for DRX.
Yeah, I just love what they're doing here, kind of playing off what happened 2 rounds ago, where there was mid-control taken. You know, you're using the Sky utility, particularly early Trailblazers from the side of NRG to kind of gain space in the mid. Makes it hard to kind of read how NRG is going to be wanting to use their utility later on to kind of dictate which site they want to go to. Instead, DRX just says, okay, we're just going to punish them. We know they're going to go mid again. We're going to set up a trap play here. They get a couple of guns. They get the spike down. They're able to lock it down. Now, NRG, maybe a little bit of a faster hit here as the blades have been popped for Artis. Judge in the back pocket.
Buzz not noticed. He was noted by Artis. Buzz just now pulling back away. Stacks as well going to be seen there. The lockdown will be coming through. No way to clear it out. Space has to be given up. Artis leading the way, continuing to dash forward. Judge in hand, wants to check that there's no one in this back hall, given that there's that tiny little corner they can tuck away in. Knows that it's clear, and now it's DRX having to try to break their way back through this one. First is going to be the Reckoning, now popped. Pit as well, though, invested from Finesse.
This is going to be so difficult here. A flash check hall, put a Judge up close.
Can't shoot those anymore, they're Artis. Sucked into the corner, Crash, he's in such a ratty position, waiting to strike. Mako able to find one. Victor, however, gets Buzz. Mako now falling. Crash, he's with that kill, tries to swing out. Stacks will shut him down. A 3v3. Judge still in the hall, but they need to try to break through. The flash not available. There's one. Zest gets the other, bringing it back to a 2v2, but time is now dwindling. Finesse, however, falling, leaving Victor all to his own devices. No nano swarms to speak of, trying to clear out of the cove. It will get broken down, and it gets them both. The 3K clutch. Victor drags him over the line to tie it up at 3-3.
Unbelievable hold here from Victor. Great play at the end. Great start here for NRG, dialing up a big-time change of pace. Buzz able to get out there just barely. Smart here by DRX to save their Reckoning, to try to go for the retake, but that extra layer of alt utility here for the side of NRG, a big difference maker with that Viper's Pit. Artis, such a nuisance in the back hall with that Judge. Have to commit 2 players just to take him out. And you know it's going to be a trade, a 1-for-1 when he's back there. DRX gives themselves a chance, but huge hero play from Victor.
Absolutely monstrous. 3 kills and a 3rd round win to tie it up. And clearly Termy not happy with that. Doesn't want to be in parity against NRG, so decides to go for the timeout nice and early. See if they can go ahead, separate themselves away, try to rack up some additional rounds. But yeah, great tooth and nail fighting coming out from the side of NRG, and it's on the back of another round that doesn't have as hefty of an investment that they managed to walk away with a win.
Yeah, it's just really, really awesome to watch both of these teams, the way they're making adjustments already. 3-3, we've already seen a ton of great stuff. Curious what Termy wants to do. You've got a couple big ults online here for DRX. You've got the Viper's Pit for Mako. Stacks has the Seekers. So does Crashy on the other side. You know, how are you going to play for that? Are you going to, you know, pop the pit early and try to squeeze space? Are you going to, you know, a lot of times you see Mako wait for retakes. Mako is generally on the Viper. He likes to use it for retakes. He doesn't like to use it as one of those kind of space-taking abilities. He's more of a reactionary Viper player when it comes to it. Stacks with those Seekers, pretty curious how they want to do this. I see 4 members, once again, of DRX lining up towards A. They're expecting an A hit here.
Well, there are going to be 3 players waiting for them on the opposite side as the pop flash does go through. A little bit of spam. Artis trying to fish for it, and he will find it. Buzz. Headshot. That might be this forward push abandoned, but no, DRX are continuing to push the issue. Trying to maintain control of main. Shot spread, another wall. Pushing forward. Just looking to lock them out, but at what cost? Zest will be able to go ahead and slurp up that orb, try to get closer to the next Reckoning for himself.
At least got something out of that there for that challenge by DRX. But yeah, just, again, you know, Artis kind of aware of how DRX played this. It's very reminiscent of the pistol, the way that DRX did that. Threw up the high tide, came in behind that smoke, tried to gain a little bit of space. This time, NRG waits back a little bit, doesn't send any utility in really, just spamming it down mostly. Able to find that early big kill. Now still setting up here for this attempt. Crashies has the Seekers. Once those come out behind this Trailblazer as well, you gotta read this as DRX is gonna be A.
Dash in, Mako eating the full flash, just trying to stay quiet and tucked away next to this poison orb. Does manage to come away with one. Just gonna be taken down, but not in a position where you can try to upgrade the weaponry here. The Stinger's still gonna be in hand now. Mako gets it taken out of his hand. Sam with 2 quick kills. Finds those eliminations, gets that plant down. RB in the meantime has been quietly pushing his way up past Flowers. Gets himself in towards Secret. Still plenty of cash in the bank. How much damage can he do? Because the turret is there to play for his contact. Now identifying Victor is over at main. Is he ready for the close angle? Yeah, manages to find one, finds 2. RB jump peek. Sets up the turret, swings out, manages to get the headshot, and no way. Surely it's not possible. The bite to delay. Finesse. Just try to play this one out patiently. Alarm bot gonna be cleared. Tap, bite, death. Finesse, playing it up beautifully. Knows the limitations. Will upgrade the Bulldog. And does manage to find the round win, but a hell of a lot closer than they might have anticipated.
Yeah, and on a lower buy there, Stingers and Spectres for DRX. That's why they're trying to challenge space early. And it almost pays off. RB here still had that Vandal in hand. Able to keep this through.
Oh, what a...
Yeah, that's pretty that's pretty nasty.
Nasty follow-up shot on Mako. Happened to catch him in the head with a stray. Either way, you take that. Got them the site, it got them the plant, and eventually the win as well. You cannot understate the heroics of RB in the last round.
Yeah, this high tide, though, forcing Mako back. No contestation for that orb this time. Dog gonna get cleared, not gonna know to Artis, as he's gonna tuck in to the wine corner. Artis still gonna keep pushing space here, but now a cascade from Zest in response. So now NRG digging back into this mid control, trying to see if they can reestablish, break through the formations of DRX. It's something that does give them a problem at times on their defenders' halves. If you can kind of get those early picks, they can be a little slow to respond.
Buzz is not budging, but this could end up being quite bad for him. He's starting to drift away now. Might be a little bit safer. You can see with Stacks watching over towards water, decides to actually just send out the Seekers, which one of them going to be cleared. He's looking for the other ones. Artist trying to save his teammates here. A little bit of trouble.
I suggest you move.
And they're getting spotted in the end. Now Reckoning going to be coming through, and that's as you're talking about, that reactionary pit. It comes down. Mako just sending it, drifts away from it, but so too does NRG drift away from the A site. They start making their way over towards B. RB waiting right now in the hall. Buzz now sprinting to try to get himself into a position where he can put this off to use. Swing out. Doesn't see anything. Goes against the collat. Turns away from Artis, who now falls to RB's hand. And Buzz is completely shut down this round. Finesse gone. I love the pivot, but the timing was just absolute perfection for Buzz.
10 seconds left.
Crashy's now just going to stay tucked away in link, holding on to that Vandal as best as he possibly can, and we are going to be tied up at 4-4.
I fully agree with you. I loved the way NRG played this round. I mean, it's a good Seekers here from Stacks to really confirm this mid presence, to give Buzz the ability to really rotate back and prepare for this B hit a little bit better. That kind of helps DRX get set up for this. But I thought Buzz was dead to rights when he peeked that corner. I thought he was just done. And then he gets the collat.
Here.
Unbelievable. I mean, just absolutely, what a flick there as well from Buzz. And then RB quick with the follow-up. So good reaction, good communication between RB and Buzz there. But, I mean, that's just, you know, those are the plays you're going to need here for DRX to get you over the line when you're going up against a team like NRG that you've been so close so many times. You know, best of fives, best of threes, always going the distance against them. So it's going to come down to those little things today, and rounds like that may be the difference makers.
Well, we were tied up 3-3. We saw the timeout from Termi. Now we're tied up 4-4. And it's going to be Chet calling one as well. These teams ever so familiar with one another. Seems like Chet maybe wanting to make some minor corrections to these mid-round calls that have been coming through from NRG. Because like we said, they're looking good right up until the moment that it doesn't. So maybe he's got something to try to course correct and give them some additional value. Maybe get some picks early so that way when they do pivot, there's not that full force of 5 waiting for them on the opposite side of the map.
Yeah, and they did a pretty good job of that in the previous round. They had 3 players of DRX leaning towards A. They were, you know, kind of expecting them to maybe try to challenge that pit potentially off the back of that Reckoning, but instead it is going to be an eco buy here for NRG. RB sitting on a lockdown. Buzz with the Blade Storm still op in hand. Now able to upgrade to the full armor. DRX has shifted over to that half armor strat in case you didn't watch the end of Pacific this year. And shame on you if you didn't, but...
Widely adopted, for sure.
More, I mean, yeah, but definitely DRX kind of halfway through Pacific decided that this may be the way right now, and with Buzz on that op, still locking down B on the other side. Pretty heavy stack here towards A. No utility on the site though for DRX. The Killjoy utility spread out across mid. DRX kind of worried about this, but now with the dash here, you got to know that A is going to be where the pressure is.
Now the double approach coming through Art. Robot will be there to play off of it, but RB has widely pulled back away from that position to challenge. Spike plant starts coming down. 60 HP remaining here on Sam. Mako going to the left, kind of expecting that he was going to get tucked away into the cubby, but he delayed. But as that daze comes through, the call comes in, ping comes down. Mako does manage to find that wallbang elimination to go ahead and get one off the board. Time going to be dwindling. But NRG, they have to pull back. They have to respect this lockdown. Artist trying to play as a bit of a surprise, catch somebody off guard, find some additional kills to make the retake a little bit easier for him, but it's just going to be DRX holding it down. Finesse will come away with one. Zest will fall. Victor and Finesse, however, going to be cleaned up on the back end. Crashes again. Just has to stay tucked in a corner, hold on to the Vandal. The DRX off the back of NRG's timeout will be able to find the round win.
Yeah, the reaction here from DRX is really, really strong. The utility combination there to help Mako find that wall bang, and then the immediate lockdown, the response to use the high tide to cut off the site, the Cove to come in to protect the defuse, knowing that it's a weaker buy in particular, that Cove's so strong in those situations. So really, really nicely handled there by DRX, but now NRG back up to full strength with their weapons. Couple light armors here and there. Blade Storm still in the back pocket for Buzz. No connection on that flash. Mako able to dodge it, but now DRX has shifted the Killjoy utility over towards A, trying to keep NRG in check from trying another fast hit instead. Pretty big rotate over towards B, where Buzz with that op, he's been pretty good with it here so far today. Gonna have to come up huge.
He's gonna have to find something if they want to be able to slow down this taking the side, because everybody else from DRX is currently sitting on A.
He saw Artist do this earlier. He wants to try his turn at that angle.
Finesse again, creeping in behind. Jiggle peek from Artist. Gonna swing out. Buzz is gonna drop down. He's gonna go up aggressively. Dash at the ready. Shifts in, finds one. The shot not going to connect. Takes quite a bit of damage. It will be able to back away. Kills can now come out, but it looks like Stax is simply more interested in getting control of back hall. Buzz moves up on a Heaven, clears out the dog. You should know based on the tracer where that shot came from, but Artist going to be the first one to fall. Buzz taken down, Victor finding that elimination, but Zest gets two on the back end. Stax finds Finesse, and now it's just Sam standing versus 4.
30 seconds left.
Suspects there's going to be another one in Heaven. Tries to get ahead of the flash, plays it to perfection in that regard, but then Zest gets the counter swing. Shuts him down, and DRX will get a round stretch lead of 2. 6-4, with 2 more to be played in the half.
This is, again, pretty well played here by NRG on the initial kind of idea. You've got nobody but Buzz to deal with, but barely, just barely, Buzz is able to get down there, and Zest coming in huge here. Able to find 2 big kills on that entry, and then right there to back up Stack. So the good things I'd say here for DRX today, from my eyes versus some of the other matches we've seen recently, is the teamwork seems to be good, the coordination seems to be good, and maybe more importantly, the energy seems to be good today.
The energy? I thought you would.
I didn't even do that on purpose.
I fully
this
thought
time.
that you were doing that on purpose. I say, wow. I don't necessarily disagree. I do like some of the rotations they've been going through, but you know, as you're pointing out, DRX just have been getting some decent adjustments coming through so far, but still plenty more to be played out. And again, as we've seen in the past, these teams do like to go the distance versus one another. RB tucked away, not going to be spotted by the updrafts. Artist now, maybe look at the drop in on top of his head. Shots go in. He's looking for Mako. He will be able to take him down with a right click. RB trades one back. Kill out. Zest going to be taken down. Now the attacking lockdown comes through. They try to flush him out of this position. No one watching for him.
The timing.
Shot goes across. He's just trying to get anything that he possibly can before that lockdown comes through, but eventually has to pull back away. Trailblazer out. Sees one. Knives pulled. Just one remaining. But RB mows down 3 players. Dash into the corner. Buzz trying to stay safe. Finesse has now shown his hand. They know that he's in behind, and now he's all alone. Creeping around the back with a stinger. The spike not planted for him. RB looking for a 4th. Not going to be able to find it. But Buzz will be able to stabilize the spray at the very end to take him out. And now move it up by 3. 7-4. Things are starting to look dicey, but Finesse just unable to find that first kill coming through on the lurk. And then after that, The jig is up.
And RB has been absolutely outrageous. The timing he finds to scoot past the players of NRG during that lockdown, able to get to the edge of it, and it gets there undetected, allows him to stay alive. It finds a great double kill on that swing, 17-5 right now.
I was just about to point it out. You're talking about him. It's nutty, the impact that he's having at the moment.
He's been really, really good this year. I mean, RB has been playing the best VALORANT we've ever seen from him, in my opinion, so far here in 2023. He's just been brilliant, not only in his individual play and his mechanics, but his ability to rotate between so many different agents is incredible.
All right, well, now for a fairly fast hit here onto the A site. Artis up and over again. The turret will be dealt with. RB trying to get himself swung in the dugout. Swing in from Artis. RB finds yet another headshot. Mako cleans up Crash. She sprays through to fight Som. Oh, and that's just nasty. The pin is up though. Finesse and Victor need to play this one to absolute perfection. Nano Swarm's already burned through. Post-plant util down to 2 bites. The dog goes on the chase. The rush comes in from Mako. Victor will shut him down a bit, but then takes so much damage. And that leaves Finesse all on his lonesome. The bite coming through, but he's going to be caught with util in hand, and the bite went a little bit too deep. Diffuse comes in. It's an 8-4.5 for the side of DRX.
This is phenomenal for DRX. I mean, this is a map that they sometimes can struggle on the defender side. Attacker side is often where DRX is kind of doing a lot of the heavily lifting, at least in Pacific. Now, sometimes in International, that kind of does change here, but that spray through by Mako, great here that DRX still has Stax' utility in hand to clear that Viper's pit at the end. They still have a guiding light. They still have the Trailblazer. So they have the ability to really get through there and make sure that they find Finesse.
All right, well, on their map pick, they're now in the lead 8-4. We'll see how NRG replies in the second half. But first, we'll go back over to Yinzu in the desk to check in.
Thank you very much, Achilles. And paper thin. It was getting really, really close in the beginning, but Kukuka DRX running away with it towards the end.
Yeah, exactly. And the performance that we're seeing from them, sometimes it's a little bit of luck. Sometimes it's, you know, Bas re-picking an angle, pushing through a smoke, getting a collide. Sometimes it's RB being the best strongholder that we had in the competition.
You know, it really felt like NRG was doing a great job at getting, like, 3/4 of the way there, and then they would just get stuffed. And yeah, it took some heroics like this round here off the post plant. This really felt like one of the few instances in which they were able to get the spike down and they were able to maintain control. DRX caused so many problems in either not letting them settle in, or once they settled in, they would just lose the post plants. DRX's retakes were far too ferocious. Again, this was an exception to that trend, but DRX just really had their way with NRG for the majority of that half. And again, it wasn't that NRG was necessarily handling things poorly. 80% of the round felt like it was being played fine. Well, some might even say, but beyond that, the last 20% is where Buzz would come out with a collat.
Yeah.
Or they would just hold him at sight. They wouldn't allow him to get settled in.
Yeah, so many kills across the smokes, across the high tides. Also talking about the composition, and I think that we were talking about RB, we're talking about Boss. You can see it now on your screens. And looking into the next half, is NRG can rely on that lag? I don't think so. I think that some rounds might have looked overcooked, but to me, it just shows a lot of resilience and actually a lot of depth in a map that I don't think is that deep.
Yeah, and Doug, you think NRG, they can pull it back?
It feels like a tough ask right now. I'm not going to lie to you. I think there were the little things that are concerning me that were going poorly for NRG, and those are very difficult things to adjust on the fly like that. You know, maybe Crashies gets to wake up. We talked about him prior to the map starting. He continues to struggle.
Yeah, I mean, a few of their players, if they do manage to wake up though, Paper Thin and Achilles is not going to be easy for DRX.
If they can wake up, and that's what we want. We want to see this run back. We want to see that closest, that tightness that we have gotten every single time these two teams face off. So coming back into the second half, we need to see a strong start, a pistol round win for NRG to get the blood flowing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I never, ever, ever count any team that FNS is calling for out. He's just too smart, too good. And again, I agree with Doug. It's just some little things that kind of went bad for NRG. There were some pretty good decisions, but yeah, DRX's retakes really, really strong. DRX's utility usage in that previous half, really efficient, really smart stuff for the most part, how they counter it. And RB is just outrageous right now.
I'm going to have to see that one in a replay, but I believe he just might have had that fully blind through the wall, just playing off of expected timing and game sense. I don't know. Either way, that's going to be an initial kill coming down. Artis is dealt with. Buzz, however, going to be traded out on the opposite side. So the team now without their jets. Crashies on the flank, creeping up. RB seeming like he's going to be reading this one, but cannot win on the battle. Crashies, however, runs out of bullets and will be taken down. That brings it back now into a 3v3. Some on the approach, working his way through from Art. Flash going across. Mako now getting set up in mid for his post-plant util, but needs to send it pretty damn soon. Everybody's dead, and he's just going to be able to hold it. It is far too late. NRG flood back into the site. They take the pistol round that they so desperately need.
Yeah, this is just great awareness here from NRG. Victor winning a huge fight, a huge 1v1 against Buzz. A little bit of a nano swarm involved in that affair, but that kind of allows NRG to stabilize a little bit.
All right, RB.
I mean, just absolutely insane the way he's playing here so far. But then they come around the flank, and Mako isn't playing counter flank here. He's playing for the lineup that you were just talking about, Achilleos. He's going into mid to use that snake bite. Instead, it just didn't matter. They all lost at the point of attack there. So now DRX on the eco. Sheriff, a couple frenzies. As DRX really favors the frenzies. They get a ton of value out of it. As many of you have seen, RB, the internationals, a few pretty insane moments with those. Marshall, a couple Spectres, only one Bulldog here for NRG. So let's see what they can get done. As Buzz is just waiting around this corner for seeing if maybe NRG try to get aggressive.
Steady creep up, Som. Play through this one. Artis, however, holding forward, looks for that follow-up shot, has the dash away, is going to be noted. Mako in the meantime, and Buzz going to be taken out by Som. Over the opposite side of the map, that clears out that A side, and oh my god, what a swap to the classic! Artis just knocking down Zest and keeping them in this one for a potential flawless. Over the top, RB will be able to get him in the end, so not quite, but only the Marshall left on the ground. The Stingers, the Bulldog, the Spectre all saved. NRG will be able to win that anti-eco. Can they convert this next one, pick up that win and bring it to within one? That could be enough to crush DRX.
Absolutely. And Artis may be getting a little bit overconfident with the no-scopes there with the Marshall. I mean, I know it's very accurate on the no-scoping, but getting over to that classic in time to find a kill. So DRX finds a few kills here and there, but a Phantom is going to be invested for NRG. A little bit of extra cash to spare. DRX, of course, going to be on their near full buy. Start trying to cascade their way towards B. Is definitely DRX is a team that plays B simulator on this map, as you talked about earlier. This is a team that really likes to hammer home on this site, really likes to set up for post plants deep here, up by the screens. And let's see if they're going to be able to find much. Turret for contact off of Buzz. Their only response here is a little bit of utility.
It looks like just given the silence on the opposite side of the map, though, do they want to pull back off this position, or are they going to end up going to B? Buzz just drifts away for a little bit of a moment. Seems like they want to wait and see what info they get relayed from Mako and RB, who are going on an expedition through Art at the moment.
Well, there were some smokes over on the other side by doors that kind of led NRG to think this might be towards B still. So they're kind of still mostly keeping their feet planted at B, trying to lock down that area.
Oh, they're starting to work their way over towards Artis. The Phantom in hand, he can certainly do some damage now. He's getting a sense of it. Gun out, dash out. Won't be able to find any damage, but manages to keep himself alive as well to boot. Quick clear on the Trailblazer. Counter swing from Zest, a little bit too late to try to find the punish. Crashies now sending out the Hawk, but RB entering, manages to find one. Crashies though, gets himself down, finds one, looks for a second, gets the dink, gets the follow-up spray onto the corpse. Mako now gonna be taken out as Crashies finds a third. Doug was asking for the impact, it is being found. Spike now gonna be planted, he's looking to push out of the cove, 30 HP in a dream. Crashies, surely he can't find more. Surely his job is already done. It's already good enough, and I think it just might be, because now Zest gets taken down and stacks the IGL on his lonesome, and he won't be able to find anything more. NRG will take this round for themselves. The bonus is theirs, and they now do bring it within one off the back of the heroics from Crashies.
Yeah, just beautiful stuff here from Crashies, going back and forth around that box on the A site, just causing headaches for DRX. Just absolutely brilliant. I mean, the reactions here, the double dinks with that stinger, just nuts. DRX gonna be able to invest a little bit into this round since they go for the halves. I see a couple Bulldogs, Marshall. It looks like they're gonna drop the Marshall, just keep the Bulldog and a Judge here on the Buzz. You've got the Reckoning for Zest, so this might be a fast hit on the B.
Oh, it's RB as well. They want Buzz with that Judge for the entry power. Oh, he might not get the opportunity. Will get knocked down to 73 HP. Stacks to the healing, however. Should be able to top him back up, and yeah, will do so. NRG, though, starting to back away, but the rotation's also starting to come in. Crashy's now making his way over towards the B site.
You haven't had any contact or any other utility in any other part of the map. Now with that Reckoning in particular here, High Tide coming up to set up for this entry for DRX. Buzz going to go right for the Hall.
Got an additional stun out on the fence as well, but he's going to start creeping back forward. Goes for the spray. They know that they're playing close. Stacks gets the timing, swings in. Not many bullets left in that Phantom, though. Has to go for the reload and has to back away around the corner. The lockdown now going to be committed in. Hall broken through. Buzz unable to find any value other than a little bit of damage, a smattering of it with that Judge. Will put Crashies down to 14, but eventually NRG do have to back away. They have to respect the lockdown. They pull out. Time still dwindling, but still plenty to go. Mako, the second snake bite now going to be let loose. Nano in hand. RB sends it as well. Desperately trying to pop that one, and he will be able to make it happen before they can clear it. Head spotted. Mako taking down Artis up on top. Managing to find one. The tap, the hold starting to come through on the spike. Victor and Artis going to be cleaned up. Stacks with a third. Leaving Crashies on 14 all on his lonesome, and he just does not have the time to play through this. The Stacks will find 4, and DRX will once again separate themselves from NRG.
And there's that quintessential deep post plant play here from DRX that they love to do. Just stagger the mollies. Keep things as difficult as possible for your opponents. It's a good entry here, a good delay on this take by DRX, kind of backpedaling just enough to wait for some of that responsive utility from the side of NRG to get into the site, get a little bit of comfort, and get the plant down. And then RB gets that lockdown in as well to really give themselves a great opportunity. Fast hit. Woo.
Just get blinded a little bit, goes for the right click, and Buzz eats some damage, goes to 25, and the flash is good. Buzz is looking for more, and he will be able to find 3. Only has lost. The Seekers now let loose to try to find the remaining 2 players. Finesse going to be noted nice and early here. Across and oh, what is that shot? Buzz with the fadeaway. Now on for the ace on the hunt. He's looking for Victor. Buzz is out for blood. Victor's got the advantage on the peak, and he will be able to win out the fight. But from there, just has to back away. That's going to be DRX getting the double digits.
Well, this is just so scary now for NRG. The economy's very much in shambles.
It's split. I mean, Sam and Artis, the 2 with some cash here, but
yeah,
a carry over from Victor. They should be able to put something decent together, but it's still going to be not full power.
We'll just give Crashies another stinger. That's I think that's a pretty good answer, it seems like. But no, man, I mean, this is just, if Buzz could start to come alive as well for DRX, you know, Mako, RB have been really solid. But if Buzz as well can really start to heat up on that Jet, he struggles a little bit on that Raze at times, as we saw in their previous matchup against Paper Rex. But on the Jet, man, you and I have seen it time and time again. This guy can absolutely destroy once he starts getting the feel for himself, once he starts getting the comfort underneath him. And look at this, down to 25 right off the rip. Now he does get the heal from Stacks throughout this, but that is just wicked
this one,
good.
That one right there, just a pixel out of place, and Finesse just trying to get that bite to go for some further delay. It ends up costing him, and that's a back-to-back 4Ks from 2 different members on the side of DRX. Stacks the round prior, and then Buzz coming in as well to damn near double his kills that he had going into it. But this is going to be NRG now calling their second time out, trying to find some stability, keep their heads above the water, and run this one back to steal it away from DRX.
Well, you got to be thinking here as NRG, maybe it's time to kind of play a little bit faster for the retakes. DRX hasn't been throwing much in the way of curveballs here in the last couple of rounds. They've just been kind of out-dueling NRG at the point. They've been really trying to just attack them on the sites, just kind of break them open and do what they like to do, get set up for those post plants. That didn't even need to happen in this round because Buzz just went crazy, but yeah, I'll be really curious how NRG wants to approach this. Maybe it's time to try to get a lurk through mid. I haven't seen a ton of attention by DRX towards that space very much.
Well, if they do want to try to pull the trigger on a little bit of a faster retake, that Reckoning from Sam is available. So maybe if that spike goes down, they just immediately reply with it. Maybe they even use it, in advance to try to just stop them from getting into the site, lock them in once they've now committed to going for that plant. Just try to get those stuns up, try to get the cleanup there onto the site. Either way, Victor also 1 away from having that lockdown available, which could be absolutely paramount in NRG turning this around.
And the concerning part is here, if you drop this round as kind of expected as NRG with the weaker purchase, and if you lose the follow-up round, then DRX is on map point and your economy is still little bit shaky. Now they are going to carry over a fair amount of money.
Full rotate off Vanessa's call.
Yes, I love this.
They got the orb, they have the lockdown, and now everybody's going to be in position. Buzz up over the top of the screen, spots one, and Sam strikes him down. Finds the kill, Sam going to be traded out. Still plenty of tools to work through though. Crashies, you're talking about the stinger. He puts it to use, finds Dax, Mako going to be eliminated. Crashies gets a second, and now it's all on RB. Somehow, someway try to defend this one versus 4 hungry members of NRG. Just now get themselves over onto the spike, swing out. Vanessa will be the one to finish the job. The timeout will work a treat. They only lose 1 for the troubles. Upgrade weapons, and NRG are right back in the driver's seat.
It's beautiful. It's exactly what I wanted to see. The fast retake, off of the contact from DRX. Just know that DRX has just been, W king basically towards these sites. Just go for him and just get in there. The stinger, everything going NRG's way in this round. And it's because of the change-up they make during this timeout. Just really good read here onto DRX's tendencies. Now let's see what DRX is going to do in response. Now I need to see some trickery here from DRX. I need to see a little bit of attention paid towards mid. Try to push and pull the forces of NRG. Don't give them the opportunity to kind of play like they did in that last round, especially with the lockdown and some of these other ults.
Flash in on either side. Don't think anything really noted for the side of DRX as far as that flash is concerned. And Artist this time will get the better of Buzz. Takes him down, doesn't need too much damage. That's going to be DRX having to concede this space. Talking about aggression, wanting to see it. Well, NRG happy to show. Is Victor continuing the jiggle here? Back hall. Mako puts up the wall, so Victor will pull away from here. Otherwise, I thought maybe Mako in a wider position would have an opportunity to find a punish there onto the enemy KJ.
But the turret's been up here for RB, so he knows that mid is relatively free. He's going to start pushing through. There's nobody right now except that turret there to check for him. Here comes the hit from DRX. They're getting set up here. High Tide's going to come up. That's going to use that cascade as well. Victor going to respond with a quick lockdown potentially.
But not far enough in to try to find him. Spamming around, lockdown now going to be invested. Zest wants to get the plant in advance before he has to back out. He will be able to do so. Exits back out to safety. Stacks with a little bit of extra healing, can try to keep him back into this one. As the Reckoning is also going to be invested on the back end, so they really want to try to slow NRG down, stop them from being able to get presence on the site, and try to get this retake started.
Oh, look at Artis. He is way out there.
Oh, but RB now going to be noted by the Seeker. Up close. Finesse looks like he wants to try to flush him. Stack's going to be distracted by the Seeker, but still somehow wins out on Victor. Just a bit whiffy as both Killjoys going to be taken down. Tap onto the spike. Crashies looking to break this one in. Bring this back is Zest. Quick check, finds Artist, but now 24 HP. Turns from the flash. Tries to get to the opposite side of the wall, but Crashies has already seen far too much. It takes him down, and it's just enough time to go ahead and get the defuse across. NRG within touching distance. 9 to 10. One more round to tie us up yet again.
I mean, this is just oh so close. Oh so close for the side of NRG. Crashies on point. Doing a phenomenal job here. Able to take down Stacks. Flash through. Able to just see Zest in time as he's trying to cross over. Zest not able to turn that flash. Good pop flash from the side of Crashies. Really coming up big for NRG in that round. 13, 13, and 11 on the score line. Opting out for Artis. But yeah, those Seekers as well. At least giving the information that RB was still lurking there. And Artis on that long flank, even though it's dealt with by Zest.
Okay.
Makes it just a little bit more difficult. Yeah, timeout here for DRX. This is a good idea now. Let's take some time. Let's push and pull the map. Let's not send anybody too deep early. Let's not lose Buzz off the rip there, to Artis or something like that. Let's take our time a little bit here is what I'd like to see.
Well, we'll see what they have in mind for this one. As we were getting a look at their Buzz, no money, just kind of buying for his teammates, getting himself armored up. Is going to be going for that Blade Storm in this round to see if he can find some solid impact. Termi still wants to pump the brakes. He does not want to allow NRG to get that tie again, to get to double digits. Wants to put another step towards closing out this map. For NRG, winning out here, that momentum has been on their side. That would give them 3 rounds in a row and no more timeouts, realistically for either side, but for DRX. So if he can tie it here, NRG, they might just be able to run this back. After the deficit they were in at the half, it would be a monstrous performance.
Exactly. This is, again, what you expect from this matchup. Just brilliant round-to-round calling, changes of ideas. One player popping off for another. It's kind of whose turn is it going to be to step up now between DRX and NRG. Artis opping on the other side of the map. DRX Blades pop. They're hitting the go button on this one potentially. Cascade up front, waiting for some contact. Stack's just gonna grab the orb. He's one away from those Seekers. They might go to try to now kind of contest the other side of the map. Is that Trailblazer gonna be heard by RB?
Might have just been noted, but okay, Mako. Yeah, just tucking to the corner. Says, yep, there's an artist there, and he's got an op. Poison Orb going to be thrown in. They'll look to flash. They know he's not going to be playing it too far forward now, but do they continue to try to press him? Do they really risk this?
Yeah, flash to confirm that he had backed off. Now they have to use a Trailblazer as well. Kind of get the angle here. Artist gonna pop the dash. Ooh, Buzz is right on him.
One knife already thrown. There's on the Cloud Burst. Updraft over the top. The flash to try to escort him out, and Artist will be able to make it to safety. Just playing around, playing wildly with these updrafts, trying to make them really second guess what position he's going to be in should they continue to approach this B site. Meanwhile, Mako, utilizing the Poison Orb, has managed to creep his way up through Link.
And RB just cleared some utility at Art, and that's sending the players of NRG over to the other side of the map.
Aware of this, but he doesn't win out the fight. Mako just crouching through, gets that kill. Will be taken down by Finesse on the opposite side. Updraft over the top, Buzz gets that kill. Crashy's good for one. RB as well now fallen. As Crashy starts to push up, working his way through Link. Flash goes through, spray comes out, not gonna be making any contact. Buzz, opposite recover that. Operator here for himself. Just gonna be holding, sharing towards Link. Seekers now let loose, going on the hunt. Noting all three remaining players from the side of NRG who need the clutch this one out if they want to tie things up.
Viper's Pit as well, a whiff.
They do have that if he can get the position. It's another whip here. Buzzo does manage to make that last knife work. Jumps out around the side, puts a little bit of damage down, one tap onto Victor. NRG, they're running out of time. They need to make something happen now. Feels like it's far too late as Finesse just eats that full flash coming across. Tap onto the spike. Victor trying to get Finesse into a great spot. What a readjustment! The headshot, the follow-up, Finesse! He gets it done! NRG pull the rug out from beneath DRX. They steal away the round, and they tie it up at 10-10.
The hero play comes from maybe an unexpected place, but it's NRG's Finesse with the craziest transfer with that Phantom. Absolutely nuts to readjust back down to the pillar and get the headshot onto Stacks.
Oh my goodness.
Good God. That is nasty. Unbelievable stuff there. And that was so close there for DRX. They had him where they wanted him. Everything went well. You know, again, though, Buzz getting just a little bit whiffy at the wrong time.
Well, in we go. It's another rush play coming through. A 1-for-1 so far. Artist going to be taken down. Crashy's noted, but it's just a bloodbath. As both sides going to be losing out on two players. That's now starting to creep across over towards A. For the time being, it's Samal and Sloansome with the op in hand. Mako, in the meantime, splitting across, just hovering in shops, trying to see if there's any forward lurk coming through. Perhaps try to investigate the B side a little bit more, but now the pit. Finesse really wants to steer them away from A.
And the thing is, if they start making their way over there pretty quick, they might be able to cut through and get the plant down, depending on, of course, Victor. He's got all of his Killjoy utility set up over there. Nanos toward the long B side. The turret, though, to keep track of mid doors. Sam now will be taking space. Oh boy.
Getting it out of the answers. Yes, Stacks just walks right into the crosshair, and Sam jumps back through. Keeps himself nicely tucked away. RB. How far does he go to try to hunt this one down? He is going to be the spike carrier. Timing a bit off, but Sam, for him, it's absolute perfection. The clock strikes and Mako falls. RB now all alone. Knows that Finesse is going to be hovering in that pit somewhere. How does he want to play this one out?
Yeah. Got 10 seconds.
Goes for a quick check. The alarm bot. Heard by Finesse. The plant now coming down. Victor will start rotating over. RB, he's been clutch. He sees him. The shoulder for a moment at the pit will get dropped. But they should know he's going to be secret. Maybe he could try to wrap around, get himself into flowers, but otherwise it's the back site. He's completely surrounded, and RB needs to try to find a way somehow to miraculously separate all three players of NRG and take these as 1v1s. The first challenge, Sam, and he's good for it. Cuts him down, a 4K, and NRG will claim the lead.
Just crazy patient stuff here. Sam doing such a good job of reading the movements and the rotations of DRX. They try to readjust to come through short, through Art. He's ready for it. Finds the timing as Mako's trying to cross again. It's a phenomenal shot there. Sam just fully expecting the position of RB around that corner. That is going to be NRG back in the lead.
Not only that, it's NRG in the lead and DRX's economy broken down a bit. You can see they're assessing what they can go for. And it looks like they are going to invest down. The two Spectres, Bulldog just a vandal in the hands of Buzz. He needs to put it to good use. So he wants to keep them in this one, but Artis has got that operate on the opposite side. He's just one away from the Blades as well. Full flash will force out the dash, so some value going to be found here with the util usage from DRX. They're still no closer to this B site.
NRG was thinking about rotating. I could see Sam drifting in that direction, but now they're peeling off. DRX pumped the brakes just enough to give themselves enough space, get this Reckoning down. Gonna use that Trailblazer as well.
I mean, you suspect that Mako has to invest a pit here as well. Daze does come through, stops Artis from peeking on the corner a little bit more. As the answering Reckoning now gonna be invested. Buzz, does he get away from the sun? I don't believe he does. Stacks gonna be taken down, the Cove gonna be broken, the plan just now coming through, they are all revealed, and it is all a disaster for DRX. Mako now the last man standing, the pit's still here, they're spraying through the screen, trying to find him. The HP dwindling down, the bite's already burned. They haven't tapped the spike quite just yet. Crash is just healing them up as they back off. They start to advance forward. They're just completely and utterly surrounding him, and eventually they will flush him out. Crashies gets the kill, Some gets the defuse, hands it off to Artis to get the Blades online, and NRG will take this now to map point.
Just brilliant stuff. I mean, a good idea here by DRX to pump the brakes. They bought themselves enough space to at least get towards the site and try to get that plant down. But pretty quickly, the utility comes out from Crashies, the Seekers, the Guiding Lights to really start clearing space, pushing DRX back.
But still, it feels too late. Trying to go for the plant, not having that pit already down.
Yeah.
To make it that much more difficult to find the plant and to find Zest in that moment, it ends up coming to bite them in the rear. Because of the half armor buys and whatnot, DRX still will be able to afford a last one, but they need to win this. They need to take it now into overtime. Because remember, this started out as an 8-4 half for them with the advantage. NRG on this defending side, though, it's just been so clean.
They've been just immaculate. Other than those 2 rounds that DRX was able to string together, it's been all NRG, just having them read like a book. Now Artis with this op.
Shots through the screen. They really suspect that he's going to be in this position. Oh, notes one. Dash away. It looks like he did spot that Buzz was going to be in a forward spot. Buzz just cannot get the punish. Artis bonking his head, still manages to make it out. Mako and RB will start to approach here through the link. Cutting their way down. Looks like it's going to be the B site once again, and Artis is thinking about going for this aggro swing. Shorty in hand. Shot still flying. No commit quite just yet. Cove down. The spike's starting to get planted. Victor, however, finds the opening kill. A lockdown now going to be invested. RB trying to drive them away. We'll start backing off. This one covers the entire tunnel, and then it's used from mid, so they have to pull way off the site and then try to go for the retake, but they still have the man advantage, and Artis now pops the Blades. Mako a bite to try to delay, but he's not playing for a post plant. He's playing forward.
Delay might be just enough for DRX.
Back up, Mako readjusts. Here's the footsteps, sends out a shot, but now they know he's playing on the corner. He does manage to catch one, says with covering fire, will find Artis. Cove in, the tap of the spike, Victor gets one, Crashies goes down, and suddenly it stacks. The IGL, the captain, to try to keep them alive and in this game. Finds one, finds two, but he cannot get the third, but the time has already dwindled. Victor with a 4K cannot escape. The clutch is there for Stacks. It keeps the hopes alive a little bit more here for the fans as they bring it now 1 round away from overtime.
I mean, that delay stacking here from DRX is just enough. That molly that Mako throws there right underneath Evan might have been the one. That might have been the one that bought this round win. Of course, Stacks, an absolutely just insane double kill there. We saw it earlier from FNS, the IGL for NRG. Now we see it from the IGL for DRX. You can see Stacks didn't even know after he died if he had it or not. He was not sure at all. That snake bite is deep.
Just looking to try to get that catch that vulnerable punish across the map over towards A. Should they go for the crunch? But instead, it looks like, I mean, you're mentioning this, not a lot of attention being paid to mid.
Yes.
DRX, now it has their full attention.
It's a good time to do it. Better late than never here to try to put some pressure onto NRG. They've been really attacking the wings, the outer edges of the map here. And that flash is going to be dodged by DRX. So the check from NRG doesn't find its mark. And now DRX has some extra space, has some extra time. And this one looking to be a potential pretty fast hit off the back of this Trailblazer with Buzz leading the way.
Yeah, they're working their way through. The rotation's now going to begin. Victor, once he does arrive, will have that cutting side in lockdown. Because we're not seeing deep takes here from the side of DRX. They're not pushing themselves forward towards Secret, towards Flowers. This time they are playing back. That lockdown can put that into such a forward spot now. Try to play this one out and end the game. Victor says, excuse me, Som. I need to get into that corner. Places it. Turns his sights back towards water to see if anyone's going on that deep flank, but as we can see, they are not at all. Fight from finesse to try to cut them off. The hold to half. Already a fantastic start here for NRG to try to close this one out. Flash is flying, they're off the spike. Buzz not able to turn that flash, eats the full one. Mako gonna be good for one, but a flood of kills come in for both sides. But suddenly it's down to a 1v1. He knows it's held to half, he's just gonna hold it. Artis just sticks to it like glue, and RB cannot find the shot through that cloudburst. And NRG, after being down 4-8 in the first half, will run it back 13-11 to take away DRX's map pick.
I mean, as good as RB has been on this map there, with not much time remaining, Artis able to stick it and find the win there. Almost pushing it to overtime was DRX, but this is exactly what we expected, Achilleos. An unbelievable back and forth map. Both teams playing so well on their defender's side, but NRG just that much better. Once again, as DRX now, of course, go over to Haven. But that's a map that NRG in the past, when they were Optic, when they were Envy, has had DRX's number on. They do a really good job against him on that map, especially Finesse. The way he calls that map, the way he pushes and pulls DRX around there, when they're on their defender's side, he's really, really good.
Yeah, and we've only seen it from DRX once at this event. They were able to get a win. That was versus Foot, to keep themselves alive and be able to continue to run to make it here into the playoff bracket. Do they decide to change things up? Because they have shown different comps on the past. They went back to bread and butter versus Foot. Do they just stick with what has worked? Do they try to surprise us here now that it's the 11th hour? We'll have to wait and see, but this is certainly not the position that DRX were expecting to be in. They had a lot of confidence going with this Pearl, and it started off so incredibly well for them. But they stumbled near the end, and NRG absolutely does not let go of it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, but we'll see if DRX can bounce back, man.
A brutal position to be in. Now needing the reverse sweep here against NRG. NRG just one map away from keeping themselves alive. We're going to go to a break. We'll have the desk break down the action. And it will continue, so do not go anywhere.
No night